Oh Mann.
Vier Stunden später.
Das geht's nicht.
Gibt es irgendwas, worauf man bei den Turboladern achten muss?
Dass man so beim Zusammenbau nicht verkantet und irgendwie was kaputt macht. Schon ein Unterschied. Sieht man schon, oder? Dass die deutlich unterschiedlich sind. Boah, Junge, scheiße schwer. Ich weiß nicht, wie viel Platz ich da habe für einen Adapter. Aber schon ein bisschen, gell? Es kommt halt viel niedriger wie der andere Turbo, deswegen. Ich glaube, wenn ich so einbauen würde, ich habe halt viel mehr Platz, um näher an den Motor zu gehen und so. Jetzt, wenn ich die Downpipe jetzt kürze, kann gar nicht einschätzen, wie hoch vorher alles war. Okay. Okay, it's a tight fit, but here we are. Downpipe is out, and this is a 3.5 inch pipe, so 89, 90 millimeters, so should be good for quite some power and spool. And yeah, it's all of course stainless steel. And I'm going to reuse as much as possible of this one and only modify where it goes to the new smaller turbo. So yeah, let's see if now we have some room for putting that turbo in there. So the basic idea was now to get some space and see at what angle the turbo will sit and get an idea, of course, and then make a proper adapter. So this is how it looks right now. So I will have this mock-up ugly adapter, and then I can maybe put the turbo on with the V-band clamp and check out how it will sit, and if I rather modify the entire manifold, which would be an option, but it's really not fun to get the entire manifold out, but that would be the best solution. I really, actually the turbo said a lot more. Yeah, it was a lot better how it sat before I had to. I updated the engine mounts, and it sits very different than it did before. So this is why the big turbo, the Borg Warner, S300 now sits too high for the hood and a little tilted. Everything was better before I lifted up the engine mounts, but I had to, and now actually, now with the gearbox and everything aligned, I really don't want to make a change once again. So I rather work on the manifold than everything else, including gearbox and stuff. So I'm not quite sure if this, I guess it sits way too high like this. Downpipe wise it would be awesome. The compressor side I think sits too high. So, yeah, making an adapter always led to, yeah, not as ideal placement or strange angles, and also it was not so easy to get from this T4 flange to a 2.5-inch V-band without going too high or with super bad and restricted flow. So I think there's nothing nothing ideal, so I'd rather pull the entire manifold, which I wanted to avoid actually because it's a lot of work, but yeah, then I can remove the flange and go for V-band. And maybe, I don't know, the thing is, when I really wanted to remove the manifold and modify it, then actually also the big Borg Warner would fit again, so yeah, but not going to go that route right now, I guess. So yeah, now I'm modifying it for making it fit with the G30. Yeah, no clue how to get it out actually. Okay, here it is. Okay, finally, I made it. It's out. Oh, what a struggle. Okay. So yeah, here it is, my 6x2x1 manifold I made years ago. I made it out of stock BMW manifolds. So I took two of the M52 manifolds, not the cast iron ones. I cut them and welded them, wrapped them. So now I'm going to take off the flange and put on the V-band. Yep, and then I think I won't get it back in today. No, not really. So the flange is cut off, also the support bracket. So time to come up with a different solution. I have to modify the support bracket, of course, and weld on piece of pipe and a V-bend. So this is my very first attempt with a V-bend, and it's not ideal actually. So I have to remove the manifold once again. I can show you how the turbo sits right now. And yeah, like I said, it's not perfect. So yeah, I'll show you in a second. So this is how it would sit, which I would kind of think is okay. But the wastegate rod here hits the engine bay. So I don't want to cut out any further here. Especially with a small turbo like this. So I have to work a little on the manifold to maybe get the turbo a little more to the front, which once again will limit me with the air filter and air filter choice, and also the routing of the charge air. But yes, I think I just have to move the flange, I don't know, maybe a centimeter or two to the front, like here. So maybe also sit a little lower. So in the future maybe I want to add a bigger compressor or different exhaust housing, and then I don't want to do it all over again. So I have to work something out right now. Yeah, let's see. Oh. Let's see how it sits and if I got a little space. With the fiberglass hood I have a lot of room actually. So it looks like it works. Not sure how much space we got. Okay, it sits really, really high. So I think I'll modify it more. It has some room left, but not a lot. I would think it almost barely touches compressor housing, which of course for a turbo this small is not really necessary, but with the wastegate it gives me a little headache. It makes it even harder than I thought. At the moment I would have already, like, how much work I put in modifying the manifold. At this point I could have made the S300 work. So not a lot of space here. Yeah. Maybe a centimeter or two, maybe less. Okay. I think now it sits quite nice. I can close the hood, I hope. I can get the compressor housing hooked up. Some space left for an air filter if I go for very tight intercooler piping, which will not be easy, but we will get it done. And then I can add a small air filter maybe. I think that's it. I think that works. Cool.